Extracurricular activities give children an outlet outside of the things they have to do. They provide opportunities for peer interaction, offer structure, and help them learn time management skills. The Cleveland Clinic notes some stress is normal, but too much can take a toll on a child's mental and physical health. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Happy Thursday, hour 2 of the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. You know, today is International Wrongful Conviction Day. Check this out. And you've heard me. Look, I'm one of those that I'm good with capital punishment. I'm all okay. You know, there's some cases where, you know, like really awful bad stuff, DNA proof and video proof, it's all there. And my argument on capital punishment has become more demanding, insistent that the evidence be there without a question. You've also known me for the longest time to be very suspicious and very intolerant of the incompetence of bureaucracy, that's just the nature of government and bureaucracy, because it's run by men and women who are flawed. And hence the service will be flawed as well. Man, but you talk about something that absolutely you need zero mistakes in. It's in the courts, and we don't have it. As perfect, as wonderful, as superior our legal system is in the United States of America. We have juries, and you know, like just south of the border, like in Mexico, just south of the border, you know, they're still running things like back in the Napoleonic era in France. They got like these little tribunals, no jury trials. You know that, right? It's south of the border, no jury trials. You will not be judged by your peers south of the border. I mean, it's not that far away. Just throw a rock, and you got just backward thinking. Definitely not the American jurisprudence system and the judicial system. But we must get it right, especially when it comes to the death penalty. Now, I'm not talking about the death penalty here. I just mentioned the death penalty because many courts got the following wrong. So they got it wrong here, and we've got this, like the Innocence Project. Every now and then they make news out there, the Innocence Project. These attorneys that volunteer to get people removed from death row or get convictions overturned. The Innocence Project and other volunteer legal groups that are trying to do good, try to perfect our legal system. They're in there. And on this International Wrongful Conviction Day, 97 people in Texas have spent time in prison for crimes that they did not commit, and they were eventually released by volunteer efforts by organizations like the Innocence Project. And if they were convicted for whatever reason, maybe the DA was too damn proud or just lazy or didn't do their job, or they wanted a conviction no matter what. And we have seen, sadly, too many examples of individuals who have made it to death row. And how many people have we killed that maybe didn't create a crime, didn't commit a crime? Ooh, that's kind of scary. And maybe I would hope it's minuscule. It's a crumb of the thousands, maybe millions of people through the decades. So that's why I haven't met for several years. I have not been an advocate of the application of capital punishment, because I do not believe that it's 100% foolproof in Texas. And that's Texas. That's where we pride ourselves in doing things better, right? It's not. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed at the state level. That for sure. The foster care system, CPS system, that sucks in Texas. It's just awful. I had a situation, a quick anecdotal mention of this. Several months back, I was made aware of a situation where it was just a bad situation, just like little kids, 14, 15, 14-year-old, pregnant, baby on the way, an incompetent mother on both ends, for the girl, for the boy. Just an awful situation. And I'm thinking, man, we got to call somebody, call the sheriff. I mean, this is awful. under the house, under the watch of this incompetent parent, this happened. And there's a baby on the way. These are children, having children, because the parent was just too damn stupid to be a parent. Anyway, long story short. Every single attorney, every family attorney, every friend, anybody on the front lines that would care about this, he said, Serge, do not get CPS involved. Do not get child protective. You do not want that baby. You don't want these kids going there seized by the state. You don't want that baby seized by the state either. And I've been paying attention, reading up and looking at all this news and how awful it is. We must do better. How many times did you hear during the past legislative session the issue of the foster care system and CPS in the state? Passionately, any advocate, any state representative passionately advocate for reform, necessary reform and funding and policing and oversight of the CPS and foster care system. Zero. Now, maybe some echoes in the halls of the state house or Senate. Maybe somebody said something. It didn't float to the top. There was zero effort, zero legislation, zero oversight or policing of the woefully incompetent and lacking system that we have in taking care of the kids that have been abused and have just sucky adults in their lives. That we must do better, along with other things. Okay, off the soapbox now. You're rolling, Freddie, right? You good? Yeah. All right. The time is 10:14. Thank you for our supporters this hour. Thank you for South Texas Buick GMC and Lone Star National Bank. And if you can join us on 710 KURV Facebook Live, 710 KURV YouTube Live, right? Those are the ones that are easy to onboard, right, Freddie? Oh, you got X too? Attaboy, Freddie. Producer Fred Cruz always surprises me. No, that's a I'm sorry, that didn't come out very well. I'm sorry, Freddie. Yeah. Best producer on News Radio Talk Radio Texas, producer Fred Cruz. In the studio, my friend, I call her Sister Sarah. Sarah Sagredo Hemen. And today, actually it was Monday, right, Sarah? That AT&T provided a nice gift and some laptop computers.
Well, it's been in the works. They've been working with the chamber. So AT&T, Mario Barragan, he serves on our chair, our chamber as a chair for Cameron County representative. And he graciously, through AT&T, donated to the Hispanic Chamber, the RGB Hispanic Chamber, 100 laptops for us to give out to our community.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
And I serve currently as the chair for the Hispanic Chamber.
And Mario represents
AT&T.
He is with AT&T, but also for the Hispanic Chamber, he's got the Cameron County area taken care of.
Cameron County representative.
Is this the first time they donate all these 100 laptops?
Yes, they've donated out 100 laptops for us to give out to the community for those in need that we can provide support for. So the chamber methodically thought out, through the support of Cynthia Sakulinski, our executive director, to encourage the people to figure out how to give these out methodically. Methodically. Thank you. Yes. And we ended up doing 10 nonprofits, finding out 10 nonprofits that were part of our strongest group and association. And we gave them out to those 10 nonprofits that qualified through the requirements of AT&T. So we're going to be donating those out towards the end of October.
Even, Stephen, like 10 each, or based on
10 each,
staff or things like that?
10 each. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I have the names of the 10 nonprofits.
Okay,
if you want me to announce them?
Yeah, sure.
So Food Bank, the Operation Christmas, STC Foundation, Hidalgo Head Start Program, the Lift Fund, Angels of Love, Proyecto Aztec, Children's Bereavement Center, Vida, and Nevaeh's Kids Conquering Cancer.
Yeah, I recognize several in there. Angels of Love, of course. Sarah Sagredo Hammond, my friend, she's also president owner of Atlas AC and electrical and plumbing, all the different services.
Refrigeration, plumbing, all the great things.
Yeah, especially you guys in business. You guys need some units. You call my friend Sarah at Atlas AC. Now, a couple days back, she was in the studio with Angels of Love.
Yes.
And I heard Freddie go, "Ugh." I heard his reaction. We had 3 representatives from Angels of Love. Angels of Love is, I'll call it a ministry. It's a nonprofit and working mightily to help victims of domestic violence.
That's correct.
Month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we had 3 representatives, including Sarah, who's a board member with Angels of Love. And they were talking, I don't have the book. Oh, where did I put? Oh my goodness.
Phoenix
I took
Warrior.
it. Phoenix Warrior is the name of the book, which is a compilation of 12 authors, 12 women, all survivors of domestic violence situations. And then I'm going, well, what's Sarah doing here? And then you left me spinning. I did not know that you are a survivor of domestic violence.
My first marriage, my ex-husband was bipolar, and I was a survivor. I was missing for 2 days. I was kidnapped. I was almost killed, but I came across and I've survived and I found my voice. And I want women out there to know that we stand together and that there are resources for you to get out of bad situations. And our mission and our goal through Angels of Love is to support those women and men who may be in an abusive relationship and don't know how to get out.
I appreciate you being open as much as possible about your specific situation. I know somebody's thinking about this.
Yes.
You always watching your back?
Always watching. I always look for the chair that has the back to the wall.
Yeah.
It's just something you learn through the process.
Yeah, you want to see what's coming down the hall.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Sarah, what is that like to constantly be on defense like that?
Well, I think it's important to know that because I went through what I went through, I'm so much more stronger. My boundaries are in check. I don't let anybody cross them. And I speak very boldly for my rights and for my voice. And I want other women to know it is scary. You do feel alone, but you are not. And these survivors, these 12 women that put this book together, are raising funds through their stories to give back to Angels of Love. So when you purchase a book, which you can get on Amazon, those funds go back to Angels of Love, and they're currently building shelters for women and children. Okay. So the big thing about our valley is that we don't have a lot of shelters where they will take their mothers and the children. Mm-hmm. And, no mother is going to leave an abusive relationship and leave her children behind. So we need to find more support for our valley and our community, and support the parents and the children that are going through this domestic abuse.
Now, you are familiar with the efforts to create more shelter, and maybe you're not familiar with what we actually need, because I don't know, maybe it's the machismo culture, Latino culture, Mexico. I don't know what it is, but do you have any idea how many more beds we need so women who are running from domestic violence can run to with their kids and be safe in a secret location? How many more beds do we need?
We need a lot, but more than beds, we need to change the way the legislative law protects the victims. So I know one thing that the licensing regulation did is they changed the word alleged victim to client. And so now they're understanding that women that are going through this abuse, women or men that are going through this abuse, they're clients of the state. And so they're going to give them a different priority. And with that change, I'm also hoping that they're going to create stronger and stricter laws for people that are creating the abuse and people that are violating protective orders. Because a lot of these women get protective orders and then they don't get abided by, they get crossed over, and nothing is really done.
It's a strongly worded letter. It's all it is.
Nothing is really done to them. Yeah. And there's been deaths because of that, because they don't obey that order. So putting more enforcement into a protective order is going to be our strong mission, and also finding beds.
Did I say that right? Are we here in the valley, on the border, because of our culture, is the problem of the issue of domestic violence worse here than in other places?
I wouldn't have logistics, but I can definitely say that we do have a massive problem. We do have a machismo upbringing, but more than anything is we also have women who live in fear, and not being able to find that voice and not knowing where resources are at is a big dilemma. And being able to be an advocate to find and help these women find their voice and find solutions is our mission.
You have the benefit, and knowing your family, knowing your dad, knowing your family, you have the benefit of their protection and their love.
And I never told them.
You never did?
I never told them.
How long were you in that abusive relationship before?
5 years. They knew I had problems, but they didn't know the extent, because 1, it's embarrassing. 2, I put myself into this relationship. I was going to figure it out. And 3, we're very Bible based. My parents grew up in place where if you don't know if the spouse is cheating, then you stick through and you make it work. And so they would always tell me, well, you need to make it work. Go back and make it work. And because I didn't share all the details, they didn't have that understanding.
Yeah.
When I came out from the abuse and I came across the border because he took me into Mexico. When I came across and walked across that border and my face was black and blue and you couldn't recognize me. And my father saw me, he said, I'll kill him. He goes, I never knew how bad it was, mija. And so that's one of the things. Women, you need to be more outspoken. It's forget about what people are going to say. Forget about a tale you think that people are going to step on. Find your voice, be strong, save yourself and your family.
It all begins in the courtship, in the relationship, in the dating. I tell you what, your date, your boyfriend or whatever, they lay a hand on you, slap you or touch you in any way,
it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it has to be cut there.
You've got to walk away
Immediately.
early on.
Yes.
Early. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to forgive him. Oh, it was my fault. There is no reason for that type of abuse. And even women that are toxic, men have to understand that they have to walk away from a toxic relationship. Just like women need to walk away from toxic relationships. It's not okay to be abusive. You should not be raising your voice. You should not be cussing at the person. We have to learn self-control.
Yeah.
That's one of the fruitages of the Spirit in the Bible is self-control and patience. And we forget, and I have no patience, so it's one thing for me to say that, right? But the fruitages of the Spirit are golden things that we are supposed to be using as humans. So self-control is one of the most precious. And if your partner doesn't have self-control, then that person is not ready to be in a loving, committed relationship.
Part of the messaging and the education that Angels of Love is in reaching out to victims, women, domestic violence, and the few men that are part of that as well, trying to message that and see if they can cut that cord quickly. I know kids complicate the situation. Sometimes they will tough it out or think that things are going to get better. Because, we got the baby there. You got a kid.
It doesn't get better. The child grows up in an abusive home and it scars them. Yeah. What we do and put our children through scars the future of their relationships as well. If you're putting up with it, your daughter will more than likely put up with it. I have a very strong voice in my home. My daughters know it, and they have a very strong voice. And just like my mother said, Sarah, I think I made you too strong. I've definitely made my daughters too strong, but I'm okay with it.
Give me the name of the book again.
It's called The Phoenix Warriors, Survivors of Domestic Abuse.
Phoenix Warrior. Look for it on Amazon. It's sold everywhere. The proceeds, after they cover the cost of actually printing this and for the paper, Phoenix Warriors, look for it on Amazon. The money made from this, helping Angels of Love local ministry to try to find more opportunities to educate victims of domestic violence, maybe work with others, try to find some shelters for them as well. And of course, be an advocate and work with lawmakers to, as you said, change laws and like that and make sure that we get proper protections for women. It's Sarah Sagredo Hammond, my guest, with Atlas AC. We appreciate your support through years. Anything you got going on at the office you want to mention, folks?
Yes, I do. Thank you. We've got some generators, community. I have weather changes, things get crazy. Yeah. Get yourself a home generator that protects everything in your home, your fridges, your AC system, your lighting, those cell phones, those chargers, especially when we're in a hard point. Your kids, you're going to want them on their iPads and their gaming. So protect your whole home and get a generator. Call Atlas. We're here for you 24/7.
You got those big Whopper generators.
Big Whopper generators.
That kick in once the lights go out.
That's right.
Boom, it kicks in, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we need one of those here around the radio station. What do you say, Freddie? Yeah.
Right. Yes, you do.
Thanks for stopping by, Sarah.
Thanks
call
for
anytime.
having me.
Thank you. Sarah Sagredo Hammond, Atlas AC. She's also with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the RGV. Congratulations to them. Working with AT&T, they got those laptops for many nonprofits in the area. And of course, look for the book that is helping victims of domestic violence, Phoenix Warriors, a collection of 12 stories from 12 survivors, 12 local women survivors of domestic violence on this Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Time is 10:27. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, made possible this hour by South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you to Lone Star National Bank.
Your fighting Texas Aggies host the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tune in Saturday night for kickoff at 6:30. Powered by Hanka.